kindly introduction and for having me here. My presentation today will be about the realization of a virtual guide using conversational agents in a cultural heritage context. Just briefly introducing why combining all this stuff, all these different fields, because especially in cultural heritage, having is not really easy to engage, maintain the engagement, and also in any case overcame physical access barrier or create immersive cultural experience. But virtual reality technologies and artificial intelligence and generative artificial intelligence can help with that. And in this particular use case was all about a museum that we have here in Italy that is called Balzi Rossi. Balzi Rossi is not just a museum, but is also archaeological sites, very important, with many discoveries. One of the most important is the woman you can see in the picture. It's called Dame du Cavillon, and she was a really important figure for as far as we could understand from her remain in the local community 24 million years ago, and she was the model that in this project we decided to use as a virtual guide. I put here a bit some picture on the smaller picture is about the museum, while the bigger one is about the archaeological side. As you can see, there are many caves. Is really difficult to access these some of them, and is not exactly the ideal path to bring scholars or children. So the museum decided to invest in a virtual experience that was designed by my co-author in the paper and is already available. Using photogrammetry, they recreate the interior archaeological site, and with using the MetaQuest, you can navigate to the site. To improve this project, my work was about creating a conversational agents that could guide the visitor and answer questions, and made the whole experience more engaging and more interesting for everyone that decided to experience. The project, as I say, was all about not only creating a realistic representation of this historical figure, but also make sure that it could work inside Unreal Engine in a VR environment, because the original actual work was made inside the Unreal Engine environment. One of the requests was about the possibility to converse in a natural fluent interaction without having a preset or option that were available to, but the visitor should have the opportunity to ask the answer freely, and the guys should have been able to respond in a natural language. Obviously not any answer, but the answer should have been coherent with her figure, her character, and correct, historically correct. We selected many tools in order to achieve this goal. One, obviously, Unreal Engine. MetaHuman Creaton is a platform that Epic Games allow its user to use in order to create NPC or character that are realistic, human realistic. Meshi, Blender, and Mipsamo are three different tools. Meshi is a generative tool that allows to through prompt create some material mesh. I will spell further what it means later. Blender is a tool used to manipulate this figure, the mesh, in order to make a computer more okay with the Unreal Engine environment. And Mipsamo is a platform where you can find different type of animation already made and already usable for your character. And then Convai and in Word Studio, that there are two tools that allow to implement conversational abilities, and they both had the plugin for Unreal Engine. So we selected both and we tried to figure out which one was the best. Here is the website of Meshi I was mentioning earlier. As you can see in these images, I simply took the image of the crown, the meadow shell that was founded inside the burial site of the Dammon Pavilion. Here, this photo, you can find it in the actual crown, you can find it in the museum. And the photo was took from their website, and I put this image on Meshi using a prompt. I asked in order to have a virtual reconstruction of this crown, and this is the final result that you can see in the second image. Here is the MetaHuman Creaton website. As you can see, you can, based on different input that you can manipulate, create a human that has the look that you desired. In this case, we use the image for the face reconstruction that was available in the museum in order to make her look like as much as possible as the original one. And this is, I don't know if you will be able to hear the audio, but just a video in order to show you the final result. As you can see, this is the Unreal Engine. Here have the virtual guide that moves, and when I ask just hello, the guide will respond to me. Here, I just answered the question as I said the instruction in order to have like an ancient and solemn tone and a specific choice of words. So as you can read from the prompt answer, it answered that way. So this is the project workflow in his all. We started obviously defining the object and selecting the technology that I mentioned before. Then there was the creation itself of the virtual guide and all the stuff, the her garment, her crown, her shoes, and everything that was meant to make her more realistic. And then once everything was inside the Unreal Engine environment, we have to do this process called retargeting animation in order to have her move in a natural way, not just her lips, but also her posture, the way she moves, the way she walks, have her to not feel like it was like a puppet. I don't know if you know what I mean, but this thing called uncanny effect when you feel that is cringe. So we had to work a bit in order to ensure that it didn't upset the user. There was then the integration of both tools. Actually, we created two identical projects, one with Convai and one with InWord in order to test both. And then there was the testing part. Why both? Because they are similar but different. Convey High had this possibility to implement a knowledge bank, which was just a bunch of files where you determine the information that your guys should know, it should not know, and obviously, I asked for my co-worker that worked with archaeologists and with the museum in order to have correct information, and we create these the files, this information. And with the plugin, they have this automatic ellipse synchronization that helped a lot with the animation. In Word, on the other hand, you could just write your backstory, and in the backstory you could insert some information and then apply some filter in order to make sure that didn't mention specific information you didn't want. It was like more a top-down process than a bottom-up. And unlike Convey, I had the multilingual capabilities, which was essential because the museum is at the border with France, and there were many international visitors that speak French.
Yes? 5 minutes left.
Okay, I should rush. The testing was made in order to test animation and obviously dialogue, and as co-worker made the testing in order to ensure that the guide respond correctly, animate correctly, move correctly, and everything. And we ask a question in order to see if the responsibility was too much or not, whenever the information was accurate, if it could answer even in situation where they ask out-of-scope questions, and so far it was good result. Obviously, there was a lot of limitation, small group for evaluation, obviously, but also the fact that in the middle of the process, Inverter changed its pricing model and is no longer available unless you have your custom pricing model. So for academic purposes, it's no longer available for testing. And depends on internet, which is a tricky problem because the actual museum doesn't have a stable internet connection. Next step would be obviously have more testing. At this point, using only Convey AI, and try to see if inside the actual virtual environment, if it could work, if this is going to have more problem, definitely going to be, but we'll try to solve it. And try to make it work for the museum. And the conclusion here, obviously, we managed to make it work generative AI in a virtual environment for cultural heritage, and is a good step in order to prove its potential not only in this specific use case, but also in different settings that could have beneficial in this kind of technology, this type of immersive experience. Here I made a bit of bibliography. You can find all the reference lists in the paper. Thank you so much. I leave also the contact. And sorry for the 2 minutes late.
No, you're not